The Kennedys are a superhero family. So we found out about the firefighter first, a 30-year veteran Jacksonville firefighter, engineer Matt Kennedy, after news of a horrific fatal crash that happened over the weekend.
Now, that crash report says 4 motorcycles were traveling west, State Road 100 in Putnam County, when one motorcycle bumped into the side of another. And that sent the first motorcycle into oncoming traffic. That motorcyclist collided head-on with an SUV and died right there on the scene.
The impact caused an explosion that shot into the air, which Matt Kennedy and his wife saw from their vehicle. By the time they reached the wreck, a 59-year-old man and his mother in her 80s were stuck inside the SUV, which was on fire.
We just see huge,
big explosion,
yeah. Fireball.
As soon as I got out, I saw the motorcycle guy on the road. Knew he was deceased right away. Asked her to call 911. Headed to the car, or the SUV, to check and see what was going on, and it was burning from one end to the other. And the closer I got, I could hear people screaming inside it. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, that got a little hairy. There was about 6 inches between a guardrail and the car, and kind of squeezed in between it. And I did everything I could with my hands to bust the window. And I beat and beat and beat. And I even put my knife in my hand and beat on it. I just couldn't get it to break. I had made my mind up. So they're gonna burn up if I don't get them out of here. So I hollered at her to throw me my pistol. She threw me my pistol, and I sent her around through the back glass, back right corner, and I aimed it down, hoping that it wouldn't hit anybody. Back glass shattered, smoke rolled out, and a big old dog was looking at us.
It was the driver's service dog.
Huge dog.
There were other people stopping, so I passed the dog off to them.
Now, see, this is interesting because you are an ER nurse, so your ER nurse brain kicks in.
It does.
I would imagine.
I was just trying to keep an eye on him and make sure the car's burning. I didn't want anything to happen to him. I stayed far enough away. If something happened, I would be able to get them away from the car. Trying to keep other people away from the motorcycle driver who was a fatality. Trying to make sure 911 knew where we were. We were in the middle of a dark road.
The guy, I hollered at the guy. I said, hey, let's come to me. He was able to unlock the back door, and he opened it, but it only opened about 6 inches. The guardrail, it pushed it against the guardrail. So when I went from the back of the vehicle to the back door, his head was sticking out. So he could breathe, and he was just screaming he couldn't get out, couldn't get out. I shoved his head down, and I sent him around through the window, the back window of the door, and I pushed him back in. I know he didn't like that, and I shut the door, and then I pulled him out of the window.
So you shot that window out.
I shot the window
you
out.
could get him through the window because you couldn't open the door.
I could not open the door.
Couldn't do it.
And the rest of the car was all on fire.
Yeah, it was all burning.
So you get him out.
Yeah, as soon as he gets out.
I take him, I'm checking on him, moving him away from the fire, making sure he could breathe. He didn't have any other injuries.
He tells me his mom's in the front seat.
Yeah, he's yelling that his mom's trapped in the front passenger seat.
So I went to the front passenger door. I couldn't see in it at all, and she wasn't screaming anymore. So very nervous to shoot those rounds because I couldn't see her. So I backed up, able to take a breath and look in the back window that I'd shot out, and could see her slump down in the back of the seat. So I went where her face was, right in front of her face, and shot around through the window. Broke the glass. I was able to get up on the guardrail, and we pulled her out.
Yeah, she wasn't able to help get herself out at all. She was an elderly lady. She was a little bit conscious.
When I started pulling on her, she came to. And got her pulled out, got her on the ground. I got her on the ground, drug her 5 feet, turned around to go get Cheryl to work on her, and where she was sitting was fully involved. It was really, really close.
So you got her out just in time before her seat
gone.
Was annihilated by fire.
Yeah, it was real close.
Well, both of you are heroes. And I know it's, you're shaking your head. I know it's probably uncomfortable to talk about. So I am going to ask you, Cheryl, about Matt, the hero.
I couldn't have pulled them out of the burning car or the broken window. That's his forte.
Watching him work, tell me about your thoughts, just seeing him in action.
Scary. I wanted to stay far enough where I could see him in case something happened. Proud. He saved their lives.
Hey, Matt.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. She was right there by your side,
Oh, yeah.
and she
Absolutely.
jumped in too. Tell me what you think about your wife.
I'm glad she was there with me. There's no doubt about it. That's for sure.
Cheryl Kennedy has been a nurse for 26 years, and their story doesn't end there. The Kennedys have 4 kids. Colby's a firefighter. Tucker's in school to be a firefighter. Their daughter Madison is in school to become a teacher, and daughter Brooklyn is a clinical mental health counselor for children. This entire family is serving communities. It is in their DNA. You can watch my entire conversation with Matt and Cheryl Kennedy right now inside this story on news4jax.com.
Who wants to have the Kennedys near you if you ever have trouble in traffic, if you have anything?
It is unbelievable.
Joy, we're watching the story, and I'm like, this is a scene out of a movie. This is, it's just unbelievable. And I've got to imagine, was there any friction? It's a stressful situation. I mean, they have got to be like, I've got to save somebody. Was there stress between them?
Oh, yeah. So Matt is yelling at Cheryl to drive past the accident when they get there. It's a safety measure. Yelling at her. He even said after our conversation, I want to apologize for yelling at you back there. And she's like, it's okay. And then she felt bad for yelling at everybody else because she was trying to keep the scene safe while she was working on these people. So she said, yeah, I kind of yelled at people too. But
Wow.
You know what?
And part of that's in training. Part of that is be boisterous, make yourself known. You are there to command the scene, and you have to take charge. And you can't do it with a timid voice. And it sounds like you're yelling at somebody, and you're just trying to keep their attention. You're just trying to let them know.
And take control.
And what's amazing, first responders, they're not just 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's 24/7. They see it, they're trained for it, and they kick in and they go. And every single one that I know that's like that does stuff. When he's saying that the car is just about to go, and I was like you, like if there was a commercial break at this moment, I would be yelling because it was like, wait, there's, and but for him to try everything that he did, and it resulted in him getting a firearm to get through the glass. People that think that glass breaks with these little things that you get at Harbor Freight or whatever, glass is tough. Glass is strong, and when you're in a stressful situation, I mean, it's just amazing that he went through that process and went, I know what I need.
Yep.
Joy, I want to know, do we know how the folks who were in the car were? How are they, did they survive? Are they recovering, any of that?
They survived. They were taken to a hospital in serious condition.
Yeah.
So it wasn't critical condition, which is good,
wow.
serious condition. Wow. And I do want to thank the Kennedys so much for trusting me with their story. Thank you. And I want to make sure I got that right. Madison is the one who's the mental health counselor.
Okay.
So,
Right.
gosh, they're all amazing.
Yeah.
A whole family.
And of course, the thoughts are with the incident that it started it all with that group of folks that were on motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
Wow, what a story.